Hey, let's talk top 7 comments of the week, baby. All right, welcome back to Onebar and Lupagus show. I'm Onebar with Lupagus, and it's been very busy last couple of weeks, so I haven't been able to do one of these in a while, but we're doing it. Top 7 comments of the week.
Doing it well. One of my favorite
LL.
LL songs I've never heard in my life. All right, before we do, be sure to subscribe to the channel, like the vids. We are closing in on 9,100 subscribers. Drop hashtag 9,000 in the comments. We have to figure out what we're going to do for that 9,000 giveaway. And don't forget, on April 27th, it is going to be a draft tailgate show.
Yeah, we need to stop saying we're going to figure out what we're giving away, and we just need to figure it out. All right? That's our goal today. We're going to figure it out, and we're going to give it away.
Wow.
Getting to the point. Let's do it. Comments of the week. Let's start off with Far Drives 3141.
That sounds nice.
That sounds nice. What an L. The only good cornerback from last year, and we let him walk. This is on the
Duke Shelley. Duke
Shelley went to the Raiders, and we let him walk for probably peanuts. It's so important to have players that give their all no matter what, despite how terrible the other players are around them. Those are the traits that make a fighter. You can't win Super Bowls without fighters.
Yeah, a lot of people love Duke Shelley, and for good reason. He was that little guy who fought and scrapped. But I think you made the best point about this way back when we were talking about Brian Flores. He doesn't have small corners. That's not something he does. So I think this was directly coming from the new defensive coordinator. He just likes to have taller corners, and Duke Shelley just doesn't fit that mold.
Yeah, he was cheap. Raiders got him for cheap. If we wanted him, we would have signed him. They didn't want him. Great story. Love him. Love Rudy. Great movie. Don't want him on my team.
Yeah, and I get the frustration. Like, you see these players who, were on our turds list a lot after these games that they're bringing back, and then the one guy who was a stud, you don't bring back. So obviously the frustration does make sense, and I can definitely sympathize with Far Drives 3124.
Oh yeah, no, I wanted him back. Everybody wanted him back, but the fact, it's not back. They didn't want him. Sad day.
It's a sad day. We can
mourn. Day. All right, next up, Art Vandalay. Go ahead, Lupagus. I'll let you.
It's just a lot. Art he's always angry, but he comes on, he's just fantastic. But
let's paraphrase it. We got horrible grades from CBS.
Yeah.
Art isn't having it. He hates our free agency.
He does. And he's already out here, and this is why I think we put this one on. He's out there calling Kwesi a bust already. And I think that's what I want to talk about. Number one, who gives a shit what someone thinks about these moves? Yeah, it's fun to grade them, but you can't take, because they're CBS Sports, it's not gospel. It doesn't mean that this is the final say and the only say on it. And you can't call Kwesi a bust yet. You got to go through this next year before you even start thinking that way. You got to give the guy some time to work and put this roster together.
Yeah, just like us, we grade stuff and we're way off, but it's just fun to do and break it down. And I mean, this is just like a draft. None of these guys have even played for the Vikings yet. This is all on paper. How many times do we see teams go out, blow their load on these high-profile free agents, and they suck? It doesn't work. So I am not upset by this whatsoever. The D+ I think is laughable. And give me a break. But Art, I love you. I love your trumpet. I can't wait till you're on next. But to say Kwesi's a bust, and anybody that sits and rips apart some of these signings that haven't played, it's just lazy. It's lazy. Wait for them to play.
You got to. You can be a paper champion. Paper champions rarely translate.
They do. All right. This was based off of our predictions on guys we thought were going to sign with the Vikings, and Ryan basically says we are idiots.
1 wrong, 2 wrong, 3 wrong. You know what? He's probably not wrong with this comment, but I mean, come on, Ryan. Come on, at least give us some options then. Don't just say wrong and leave it at that.
He's right. We were wrong on 5 guys that the Vikings could sign, but shit, I'll give us a little bit of credit. Some of these guys the Vikings had interest in. It just didn't work.
Yeah, it didn't.
Ryan, we appreciate you calling us out on how stupid we are.
Yeah, he went through all that effort. He could have wrote wrong on all, but no, he numbered them.
And I appreciate him watching the videos till the end.
Yeah.
All right, take this one.
I will. Ellis Gregor, one of our favorites. The Vikings want an older developmental quarterback. The Vikings should just draft Lindsay Scott Jr. on day 3. He played on 5 different programs over 7 years, but won the Walter Payton Award last year with 60 touchdowns and 9 interceptions. He led incarnate word to its best finish in school history. I'm glad this one came after the Ryan Barg, because Ellis didn't just say, we don't want no old quarterback. He gave us an option. He gave us a name, a guy we can go in and research now.
Yeah, we can. I mean, Lindsay Scott, everything I've seen about him is, I think he actually even started at LSU, and he's just this fun as hell quarterback to watch. I think he's only like 5'10". He's small. Everything points against him, but it would be a fun guy to bring in. I mean, I don't think he's draftable. Bring him in, be a fun guy to watch in the fourth quarter of the preseason.
But LS, he always gives us some names, and a lot of these names he's actually given us have panned out. So when he says somebody, I pay attention.
Yeah, he's got some of his highlights are ridiculous. They're hilarious. When he throws 60 touchdowns, I don't care if it's in the backyard. That's saying something. He's a good quarterback.
It is.
He sure the hell wouldn't fit the mold of our current quarterback. So I don't know how that's going to pan out in practice. But
if we want an old one, he's an option.
I like quarterbacks. Take a quarterback. Get a quarterback. Let's go. Big Fetty.
Big Fetty, 1439. The thing that pisses me off is he basically took $14 million up front for 3 years, but couldn't work out a deal with us. Nobody was paying him $19 million this year. Nonetheless, I'm happy for him and I love him, but we needed him here. Sad to see, but I wish him the best. Goal. This was in the Adam Thielen signs with Carolina Panthers video. Gross.
Did we really need him here? That's my question.
Yep. No.
Did we?
I think that's a great point.
Need him here? Adam Thielen will go down as one of the favorite Vikings of all time, but it was time. Go get your bag in Carolina. It was not happening. We need some fresh blood.
Yeah, and I think that's why this comment was worthwhile. The fact that he said we need him here. No, we didn't. We don't need him here. It's time to move on. Great run, great story. They will always love Adam Thielen. He's always welcome back. But it was time to move on, especially at the contract he was looking for.
That's nice of you to say. So, Adam, I know you're watching. Lupagus welcomes you back at any time you want to come back.
I do.
All right, Mark Jensen, you said we were going to address the defensive line, but you waited until the 5th. This was on Lupagus's latest mock draft, I believe.
Yeah, and this, sometimes you got to listen to the mock and let the mock speak to you and go with what value is there. You can't just force something in round one. Yeah, I wanted to hit D-line early. It didn't happen. It's not the way the mock flowed. I followed the current, and that's where it took me.
Wow, that was really insightful. A lot of good analogies there following the current. Yeah, don't reach for no defensive lineman. Hell no. Yuck.
Yeah, or if there's a better value there, jump on it. You can't force things in the draft. You let the draft come to you. I'm a big fan of that philosophy. Let the draft come to you.
All right, final one. I think defensive line is the biggest need. Dominant D-line will make the DBs better and overall the defense better. Love for the Vikings to take Cansey at 23 if he's available. If not, Brissy will be amazing. Maybe Ika in round 3.
Yeah, Matt looked 3829. I agree. I think we both agree. D-line. You get a guy up there who can be, maybe a Cam Hayward type or a Dingus Jones type, a guy who can take over the front line of an offense and just dominate and cause ruckus is going to help the entire defense from the linebackers on.
Yeah, I've seen a handful of mock drafts that have us trading back in the end of round 1 and still getting Brissy. If that happens, I'm going to come on here butt naked, covered in something, some sort of substance of excitement.
McDonald's picante sauce.
Best case scenario. Holy shit, would that be awesome, man? I think there's you see these mock drafts, I think there's a good chance that both those guys are on the board at 23, and they do trade back. Maybe someone who wants to come up and get one of those receivers that are still around. Woo, that'd be sweet.
Yeah, that would be fantastic. Move down, still get one of these guys you want so bad. I couldn't ask for a better scenario.
Those are our comments. We're going to be doing this again next week for sure. As always, we love each and every one of the comments, so keep them coming, even if they're not nice. We don't care.
Yeah, we like to hear what you guys are thinking. We have thick skin. We can take it. Nothing will be ever worse than what we heard in our early days of draft season. Very rude.
Basically threatening our lives.
Speaking of lives, here's a fact that'll make you feel better. About 159,635 people will die on the same day as you.
Oh,